stay dead. Baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion, even though I offer all of the solutions. I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless, I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion, even though I offer all of the solutions. I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless, I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt, never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm, I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string, you don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings, you don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt, never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm, I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string, you don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings, you don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you
Oh my God, I've been talking to myself. Can you guys hear me? I've been talking to myself. That's awesome. Jeez. Anyways, happy Friday. Hi, Dan. I said hi, Thomas, as well. Thank you for your, as always, wonderful introduction. Man, I also had said that someone had rang my doorbell, and so I was running behind after playing that song because I was trying to get somebody out from my door. But it was just politic type stuff, and you know me, I yap my trap any chance I get when it comes to politics these days. So, hi you guys. I'm glad you guys are here, and I forget what else I actually said in the beginning. But I do have some things to share and some thoughts, but I really do hope you guys cannot hear. Oh my gosh. I thought they were done. Oh my god. I thought they were done with the construction. They're adding like broadband to my neighborhood again, but they're right across the street, and I thought they were done for Friday, but they're still making noise. So I hope you guys can't hear that. It's so annoying and it's driving me crazy, and Littles too. Oh, Littles, she's taking a nap with me. But so sorry if it gets too loud. I hope it won't. It's 3:15. Don't construction workers usually go home for Friday? Hopefully they do. But okay, I want to share some things. And I really do appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to try and stick to one topic at hand. So hold on. Also, I want to make sure nothing goes as I ever planned, but I think maybe that's just how God made me that way. It's like a test, and I'm always passing it, hopefully. Thomas, don't even go there with me. Literally, I watched them this morning and I was like, they've already done this once. Now it's for AT&T. How come they can't all do it together? Number one. Number two, I don't know how sticking something deep down in a hole under the ground, like they don't look like they're wiring things. Like, what are they doing? It's some big round thing, goes all the way deep down in, and the guy's like, flashlight. I'm like, so how does that produce broadband? Please inform me. It's okay. It's probably just my homies at the White House looking out for me. Just saying. But let me make sure I want to be able to see what you guys are saying on my TV as well. And we're really going to start getting into some other stuff, because Idaho is just, what more can we say at, the moment? But I have some things to share that I think is imperative to what many of us actually believe happened, and it ties into everything. So before that, though, I have my notes, because this was like 10 pages of things that I decided I was going to talk about. So I'm going to try and shorten it up for you guys. But yes, kiss me. I'm not going to say it, but appreciate you being here. But it is exhausting, and right now, well, for a while now, this community, it just goes off the chains and off the rails sometimes. And I saw the threats to Jules, and I'm gonna try and be careful what I say, not because I'm scared of Steve G or whoever, but I do think that comes a time and place where this stuff has to stop, and threatening people is not okay. And for Jules, I feel for her. She's a tough girl. I know she's sharing it for a reason, and that's good, because when things like that happen, you got to call it out. But it's exhausting. It's overwhelming. It's like, why am I still here? Why is this the way our government works? This is not justice in any shape, way, or form. And then we have all the experts. It's just exhausting. I really believe it's exhausting. But so, and you guys, I've been working on a lot behind the scenes that I'm not going to even talk about. I just hope to get it out before the end of this month, and you'll see. You'll just see. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's not about Idaho. It's more me changing my channel to what I meant for my channel to be. So I hope you guys stick with me for it. So before I get started with what I want to really share, which is the word satellite. I'm going to share something I happened to randomly come across, which would be this. And this is about Brent Kopaka. And I'm hopeful you guys can see it if I put it up. And I'm going to take my face off so it can... No, don't maximize. I want you guys to see this really well. And I don't know if anyone's shared this before or not. But I found this yesterday and I find it interesting. And it was on 4chan, so I get it. Not everyone trusts 4chan. However, I have found some things to be pretty, not everything, but they're questionable, right? So this with Brent Kopaka, this truck, but more so, if you guys can see, and I can't make it any bigger. Okay, I hope you guys can see it. Where it shows like under Brent Kopaka, and if not, I'll post it like on a post for you guys. But this is talking about Brent, and it's his mother and his stepfather. They're the ones who lived in Idaho. And trust me, I've looked up Brent and every possible people search website imaginable. But if you see this, he's tied to this address. And the point being is that it ties and correlates, which I don't know that I've ever heard anyone talk about this, but it's talking about Johnson, Idaho, which I thought wasn't even, I guess I can't remember if it's Johnson, Idaho, and I think someone thought it was a street or something, but this is where the 8458 phone stops reporting to the network from 5:36 p.m. I think it says. I can't even read it on my screen, but I will repost this as like just a document so you guys can see the information for yourself. And again, I just happened to come across this, and this is tied to where Brian was. And this is really like close to, where the police have Brian located. This is Kopaka's parents' home. And I do find it just very weird that we hear nothing from hardly anybody, to be quite honest. It's a little weird to me. And I just find it odd because I do think we have to pay attention. And while I respect Kopaka very much for, fighting for this country, of course, I've never believed Kopaka was dead. And I hope he's not. I've always believed this is a bigger operation, and I'm every day getting more and more of that feeling. But I just thought I'd share that because it's interesting. And it just makes me question how come like the Darren Duncan, Kopaka's bestie, none of it makes sense. Why did he come out? And you guys, to be quite honest, I'm starting to just feel a type of way about this case. And I can't remember who I was listening to earlier, but whatever their question was, I was like, or it's just none of it's real. And the only thing that makes sense is for none of this to be real. And this is some weird social experiment. And we are all the monkeys in the circus. And I will say this over and over until we know what occurred. Because I'm sorry, but that's just, it doesn't make sense. And in my opinion, it needs to. But let me show you what's going to lead into what I wanted to share with you guys all today. And this is something else from 4chan also. And it's random, but it made me think a lot, actually. And so this is talking about, and this was something I had saved. Hi, Elle, do you want to say something to me? Or do you just like to say my name? Just kidding. So 4chan, this says this is 4. There's 4, and I'm not saying this is true. And I guess I do need to say everything I'm saying is just alleged. alleged. I have a problem because I believe it's supposed to be everything that I'm stating is all alleged. Alleged? Now I don't know what the other people say, but I get annoyed by things easily like that. But alleged. Oh, never mind. I'll think of it. But okay, 4chan. They're saying there's 4 unalivers. One we know, one's named after a hobbit. The other is named after a deceased famous baseball player. The name rhymes with Buck. My guess is Chuck. There's a photo with all 4 that was floating on a news article or Facebook post. There's a game of satellite being played. That's what we're talking about today. The game of satellite. Really? Yeah. See, I don't know. I really lately have hardly watched anybody because I just get bothered. Like there's so much drama and hate going on. I just try to stay out of it. Therefore, I end up not getting to see what half the people are even saying. And I'm just trying to focus on other things. But I love to hear anything and everything when I'm being able to chat with you guys. So is it? I don't know, Dan. You know more than me, probably. Howdy, Lucy. Lucy, is that you? I don't think so. Then again, I have no clue who is who these days because everybody is somebody else. And I'm just me, literally, no matter what anyone else wants to say. I'm just me, always have been, crazy me, silly me, stupid me sometimes, and, you know, same old same. But from what I've gathered, some of what I knew in terms of Heather being Lucy, we knew. All of us knew that. So I'm not giving any outsider information. But the open mind perspectives thing and translucent and Casa Miriam was the racist that, you know, loved to be racist towards me. And I knew that that was open mind perspectives. And I've always thought translucent was open mind perspectives and probably a slew of other people. And I have no shame in saying that because whoever's acting like that should feel shame in themselves. That's all I'm going to say. But when someone has me feeling like some crazy dudes, big scary dudes, or know about me, know where I live, and sending me money for checks for things I've never done in the adult film industry, I'm not going to feel bad about what I have to say about it. And everyone should be well aware. And what blows my mind is the fact that people still pay to take in trash. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's all I'm going to say about that. I like to explain myself a little because I don't want other people to take what I'm saying the wrong way and then therefore take shit the wrong way and think it's about them. I'm not trying to do that. But FYI, because I no shame in this, open my perspectives, translucent, Casa Miriam, all one. And lies. Nobody knows Dylan. Nobody knows Bethany. Nobody talks to Emma Bailey. Okay, let's be real. A lot of us have done so much work on this case, and that's where it should stay. No lies, no exaggerations. There's no need. There's enough to go around for everybody, and we should all be a lot more kind to one another. But hey, I've been here for too long to know that's just a far-fetched dream. So anyways, yes, hello, Senor Wazowski. I love your channel, by the way. You have a lot, and thank you for all the work you do as well. Honestly, thank you. It's all corruption. And honestly, this is what we're talking about. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on, you guys. I forgot one other thing I want to show you before we get into the satellite game that's being played. And it has to do with the Chapins, and I've already shared it before. I was having so much trouble today, as per usual, but today was worse. Trying to get what I want to share with you guys. And where did it go? I couldn't, it wasn't letting me upload anything, so I was getting really pissed off right here. Let's see. I've talked about this before, you guys, and it's the 100. It's not letting me. Hold on. Let me try and share my screen. some of you guys might remember, it's a picture when this all happened, the first Mother's Day after the murders. The Chapins went to San Diego and they got to meet Morgan Wallen and his mother on Mother's Day because of allegedly the text that Ethan sent his mom about whatever his new favorite song, and it was like their song, he said. I don't know what I believe, and I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut about what I think I believe. But this has always bothered me, and I've shared it, and I'm going to try and share it with you guys. When they went to this concert in San Diego for Mother's Day, Hunter Chapin was wearing a shirt that says dirty money, clean hands. I might have it backwards now. I've looked at it so much. Hold on. I'm trying to show you guys. It really rubbed me the wrong way. And I was trying to get like a visual. What the hell? I was trying to get a visual for you guys of what this actually means corruption wise. And it's always rubbed me the wrong way. But here we go. Dirty money, dirty hands, clean money. I think I was saying it backwards. But this picture, I'm sharing it with you guys. This picture literally grosses me out to the fullest extreme of everything. Everything. How, and most of you know, and now I'm starting to feel other ways about the G family. But the Chapins have always grown. Sorry, I gotta make it shut up. Every time I ever go to a website, never does the volume work. But when I'm live, the volume is always going to work first. Okay, sorry, guys. It's coming. It's coming. But this is the Chapins, and I find it gross. I really do. Now I have to know it. Is it not showing you guys? Like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my God, what the heck? Hello? I swear, you guys, I'm not even saying it. Whatever. Witches be gone. Okay, I'm sharing. Why isn't it sharing then? It says I'm sharing. How come you guys don't see it? I want to share this one. Like mentally unwell when it comes to doing this, apparently, but I'm really not this stupid either. The Chapins got me on lock. They're like, don't let her talk. Dude, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not allowed to talk. Oh my God. I can't. All right, well. I'm just going to get the heck out of there, and I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll post it, I guess. This is such nonsense. I don't even know if you guys can see me because this is ridiculous. Oh, now it wants to work. Okay. Whatever. Chapins and Morgan Wallen. And by the way, let's just note, Morgan Wallen is a hot mess. And he's a racist as well. So let's not forget that handy dandy little tidbit of info. I'm not going to share the news. And the guy's been arrested how many times, which is fine. Arrested. Okay, let's do this though. We're going to share this one. We're going to see all the happy family members with Morgan Wallen because, you know, the twins are so happy. Ethan's just Ethan. So here's Morgan Wallen. And the point of this, though, is not so much how annoying this is, but it's Hunter Chapin's shirt. Dirty hands, clean money, right? And Well, now I threw away what I had it all set up for you guys, and then things were going wrong. Dirty hands, clean money, though. And then let's take a fancy little look at the whole family, because this was just Mother's Day. So you see the twins, James, Morgan, good old Stacy, Maisie, the two twins. Look at them. Just happy little people. Dirty hands, clean money. What do you guys think dirty hands, clean money actually means? Just curious. Hey, Brooke. Sorry, I couldn't see anything, and I'm trying to make things actually work. And I think it's just funny. And so I'm going to laugh because I'm never, ever prepared. But sometimes it's better that way. But yeah, corruption, we're being lied to. And what bothers me the most is the fact that we're all supposed to pretend we're not being lied to. Hi, Frankie Frankenstein. Oh, wow. You're my new bestie. I still say the figure walking away from 1112 at 7:14 a.m. is Stacy Chapin. Wow. Someone's on my literal level now. Wow. Thank you for saying that. Wow. Oh, yeah. I'm not a racist. I love all people. But all people don't love me. They don't like my black. That's a problem. Then I'll get. No, racism, not okay. And I'm literally telling you guys that our country's in trouble, but we'll save this conversation for my next live if I decide to ever get political on people. But it's not political, it's about people. Stop letting people and power run your brain. Do what's right, be kind, realize that we have all the power in the world if we all just stick together instead of hate one another. That's my political speech of the day. If you want more, you want to hear more from the White House, then I'll have to check with Trump and see if he can meet with us later. Just kidding. But if you haven't watched my Trump baby video, you should. Credit goes to Thomas for hooking it up with Trump and Kash Patel and all of the White House studs of the year of the century. I'm glad to see you, Brooke. I was going to email you. Time gets away, and then my technology needs to be thrown out the window, but I'm so glad you're here. Yes, illegal business, money laundering, and I'm telling you guys, the Hex crypto thing does tie into this, and I'm going to say this, and it could be literally far-fetched, but I recall, and I haven't looked it up again, well, first of all, I have a lot of things to say, and I'm trying to be careful. And then I'm going to get to the point of this matter and what I think actually happened. And for those who think that there's like a, most like what I know is when me and whoever looked at Linda Lane, hearing the audio, we all thought like there was Darth Vader. It sounds like Darth Vader, like creepy, someone calling the shots as to what was going to happen. Creepy like he's watching and he's commanding and like walkie-talkies. I've also always said that night vision goggles were used to deflect from the cameras that were up at Linda Lane or on, any of the homes. And that's part of why I think that the scrubbing, I don't think it's all scrubbed. I think that they knew what to do. And I believe there's, the brand Neff, okay? There's also a picture of a guy on all sorts of things from the start, like a reflection, and he's got his phone, almost like the reflection when they're showing us the vehicle after the fact, the white car, but this guy's got a Neff beanie on, and there's like a weapon in the background, and it's like a knife. Neff is a big name, and not just in Idaho, but like Samuel Neff came from Pennsylvania, and I think he made a Moscow, Pennsylvania, and he's the one who named Moscow, Idaho. He was a postman. And Neff is a brand that has not only like snowboard stuff like that you would see at like, I don't know, Tilly's or Pacific Sunwear. I don't know. I'm old. I don't shop at these places. And I don't really go to the mall here because it's not very big. But it's like snowboarder, skater stuff. But they have big companies, big corporations that make products like night vision goggles, lighting. They make products for scanning if you shop at a grocery, like they sell products for companies who like Target, Walmart, scanning items when you pay. So I'm just saying this because I believe Neff, the name, has something to do with it, and night vision goggles. And I know these elite families, they all stick together. I just am telling you that. So if anyone ever says it, you heard it here first. But I believe a lot was manipulated. There was like a shot caller, a puppet master, a ringleader, so to speak, calling the shots as to what happened. And I think that we all can agree after, I don't know how many times of watching the Grub Truck video, I firmly believe Showalter, hoodie guy, for those who don't know or may see this later, hoodie guy, Jack Showalter, he's texting someone when they're arriving. And in my opinion, it's like, hey, we're about there, right? We're about to be here. Jersey boy number 8, Jersey boy number 9 seem like they're looking for them. And then they magically disappear around the corner of the Grub Truck. And then they pop back out as soon as they get there, like 10 seconds later. It's weird. Why do you think they all started a fundraising income for 501c3? It's not taxable if the activity supports the organization exempt purpose. Yeah. And that's, I've looked into Steve and I've looked into his Cloud 9 VIPs, but I've also been told, because Steve G didn't pretend to be like some IT expert when this all first happened, he did not act like he does now, like he knows everything about IT. But that's an alleged IT business. But some people think it's a other type of, you know, late night adult type business. Just speculation. And I'm starting to really get weirded out about the way they talk about Maddie. And I've had a lot of thoughts, and I've spoken to them. I don't know which one. It was right when I was told some things and I believed it. And I really thought I was doing the right thing telling the one family that was speaking out, and it was on their Facebook. So it was after that. But something's not right. They don't ever sit down, all 4 families. And lucky for the 2 families, the shady ones are not the addicted ones. They're not the ones that have problems with addiction. They're not the ones, in my opinion, could be totally wrong, but I believe someone was after Kaylee and her father for money tied to crypto. And can I prove that? No. But I also am questioning, did Kaylee know something was supposed to go down that night? Because she's on her phone the whole time in the corner club, at the Grub Truck. And she gets mad about what did Maddie tell Adam. I personally have never, ever believed that Adam was Adam in the bar, Adam Lauda. Never believed it. I think Adam is a different man. Like a man, not some little frat boy, wannabe cool dude. But I could be wrong. I just don't understand. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Frankie. Okay. Thanks for saying this, actually, because I've been trying to also watch how Charlie Kirk's death, alleged death, Christchurch, the Kirkers, well, all of that, because Doug Wilson is like Pete Hegseth, the Department of War. I think that's what it's called. Thomas can correct me. He's his mentor, Doug Wilson. And before Charlie died, like, he's met with Doug Wilson and done interviews. And I guess, you know, I didn't know who Charlie was before he died. I obviously don't align with what I think to sound like racist commentary. But there was something else I heard this morning with Turning Point USA. I think that there's a bigger problem going on in our country right now, tied to whatever Turning Point's trying to do, tied to whatever this Christian whatever. They're not, in my opinion, they're not very Christian at all. But Zionist extremism, like there's something going on, and they're trying to take the minds of young people. But I firmly believe that this is also, it's hard to explain because I have my beliefs about what happened to Ethan and what happened to Kaylee. Kaylee, I think, which is hard for anyone to understand. How do you wrap your head around something if two separate crimes were committed on the same night, if they were not for the same reason, but by the same people? That's why people can't wrap their heads around this. And what I've always said is I do believe there's a drug angle, because it has to be. And that's how you get bad guys to do bad things when it comes to money laundering, trafficking by chance, and rich people and people with no money that are addicts, they still go to the same people, the same bad guy, right? And so I can't explain how it all could have possibly occurred, but I do find that it's all tied, and there's so much going on. I think it was about Nolan Wells that made me think about, again, because I've been trying to tell people, Charlie Kirk, the whole case is the same as Brian Koberger when it comes to Tyler Robinson. There's not real evidence. There's, matter of fact, really evidence proving, just like Koberger, like none of it makes sense. And like he's a patsy. Oh, it was his car. Okay, but it wasn't his car, just like Koberger's car with the fog lights. And then we have people that are really organized like TPUSA, and they're fighting back so hard about allegations that they had something to do with it, but they can't prove anything. And nobody in Idaho has tried to ever prove that they weren't involved. If my friends died, number one, I know they heard what happened. I know they did. There's no way they didn't. Number two, where was Murphy? Because I know damn good and well, if I'm not drunk and my bestie's drunk, Maddie, why am I sending my dog with Maddie drunk outside to handle my dog going potty? That makes no sense. And university frats distribution. Yeah. And this is what I'm about to get into is the MPD, even, I mean, it goes deep. But the problem is, how do we stop this, you guys? Like, how is this going to ever stop? Because it's happening. And I'm learning some things that I don't want to know about where I live right now. And I've lived here all my life, and I'm really pissed off about things that I just heard today. And I know the sheriff since I was like 4 years old, the head sheriff. And it's like, so is this like this everywhere? Because if it is, that's really disgusting, number one. And it's all the things. It's all the things. You get away with everything if you are somebody and you have money. But I'll talk about this later because I don't want to end up saying something that I'm going to regret. Yes, a very smart creator, Dan. I agree. But the church is a big deal. And the church is a cult. And I've been saying that this is a cult situation for like forever. And my thing is, though, how come, and I will say, oh, I forgot I had something else too, but we'll get to that later if we have to. But I got to get to what I want to say about the satellite game because it's tied to all of this. But the church is a cult situation. And I don't know how that really ties into why 4 kids would have to like go, aside from if they were not living the life that the cult decided they should live. which is why I believe ethanchapin got taken out by the powers that be and the women who wear the pants in the family. Because I think Ethan wasn't following, you know, being the firstborn son, if she even gave birth to those children. And Ethan, I get it, triplets, they don't have to be identical, but why was Ethan like a foot? I'm not going to say a foot, but he wasn't the same length as his siblings, and now they're twins and it's no big deal. I find it odd. I just find it weird. Yep. And I'm going to tell you guys why it's weird. And I've thought for a long time, and now I'm questioning, so we can all make our own decisions as to what actually occurred. But when I showed you guys when I showed you this, I looked up and I asked AI in a way that it wasn't going to BS me and give me some bullshit answer, because that's all it does when I talk about this case. Because I firmly believe AI is run by the government. It's not going to give you answers unless you actually know how to ask the question. And so I saw this from 4chan, and so I took the bottom, game of satellite, and then I remembered we've heard that Jake, Maddie's boyfriend, was like living in like a satellite house at his fraternity, but he was older. He was living in Boise. So I just want to know what satellite meant. In my opinion, I thought it was because of COVID or something. And I'm not saying it has to do with the fraternity per se, but it's very fraternal-like when you hear what happened or what my response was. And it makes a lot of sense. And I'm not tying it to fraternities by any means. It's just the explanation could be explained as like the fraternities, how they run and operate is the same way this murder was operated. And I'm going to just tell you guys, and it really blew my mind. Because at first, and I'm going to use my notes because I don't want to tell you guys the wrong anything. When I first asked, it came back at telling me, because at first I didn't mention Idaho. I just said if the murder mystery was in front of you, something to this effect. I don't have what I wrote, but I said if a character states that a game of satellite is being played, which is what it states in this 4chan post at the bottom, what does that mean? And it responds that if it's stated that a game of satellite is being played, that's a metaphor to describe a highly calculated, long-distance manipulation where the killer never gets their hands dirty directly. And the dirty hands clean money just came to me again today. I've already done a video on it, but it came back to me today. Dirty hands clean money. And the meaning of that, and it's corruption. And all the money is clean because they're laundering. Whatever the corruption is occurring, the money's still clean. And don't forget, I have some, well, I'm going to just say it because I'll forget. How come nobody's talking about the guys, whoever agents that went back in the house, the cowboys that wouldn't talk to the news? The guy had his pockets full, but last I checked, like the hex black diamond, big black hex diamond was missing. I mean, this was probably 2 years ago when I realized this, and I didn't look it up yet because it just came to my mind. And something I heard made me question, was something in that house of value that was being sought after? Who knows? Oh, Indiana and Pennsylvania. And I just also have to say, you guys, Bryan Kohberger, everyone wants to say, oh, he's the dumbest smart killer, right? Because he's a killer. Because we all know that because we have the facts to prove it, right? Everyone wants to say Bryan's so dumb, and if he got manipulated by Ann Taylor, did we not witness Bryan Kohberger talk to the police the woman police officer when he got pulled over for being in the middle of the intersection at the red light or turning red, whatever. So we saw how he spoke. He can be weird and not a criminal, all in the same respect. But for people to think that Brian wasn't sitting there the entirety of this time until his plea deal, asking questions and making a big deal about what the hell was going on with his case, that's just plain ignorant to me. I can't believe anyone would think Brian Koberger, we saw him ask questions about the laws and why he would get a ticket and how to change it next time. Does anyone really believe, like, y'all really think, like, he's not going to ask questions about what the hell is going on in his case? I can't fathom that. What I can fathom is I have to agree with Pav in theory that what's happening is all part of a greater plan. And I hope that's the case, because I don't know how you get someone out of that situation if not. However, that leads to more other questions. And I think Steve G, I'll be shocked if we still hear from Steve G and, you know, that family anytime soon, because I think that the cat's out of the bag in a sense. That I think he might be tripping that maybe Ray, maybe all of these experts, which is a hard pill to swallow, right? I don't know how to believe it, but if they really know or believe that the real bad guys are still out there, isn't it like your duty, as they all have very real jobs that are very serious, that it's your duty to care and handle situations how you have to get the real bad guys in jail? So Steve G might be shaking in his little boots, because I do believe he knows more than he's said at best. And I find him very creepy. I really do. I find him creepy. I find that I believe Kaylee was not that close and they want to make her close to them. And I don't think she was. And I do believe Kaylee might have known something was up, but Steve has a brother in prison. What would he have said if the death penalty was on the table for him? And I really wish someone would ask him. Like, all of the people have talked to Steve. He's out to get Brian off even before Brian's going to get the firing squad, right? He's making threats. It's a little weird. And I'm not the one who has to, I mean, whoever the guy was who said it long ago, when listening to Steve, I forget what YouTuber, but he was like an expert. He said, Steve creeps him out and Steve seems like he's the one who did this. And I thought that was insane at the time. I find Steve and Christy very weird. And I will always refer back to the video I did about someone in Christy's family, the Lukens, her maiden name. Someone dies every November 13th. Dating back to 1888 or 9. It's weird. Brooke says, Steve and Vicap, he most certainly yeah. Just like when Aubrey said Maddie, then Kaylee. Yeah, it's like, do they get these kids twisted? Okay, thanks for being here. Do they get them twisted? Like, it's very weird. And I had a best friend like that as well from 6th grade on. We're not friends, really. I mean, we're not close like we were as of recent years, but in college we were still. And I can guarantee my ashes wouldn't be at that house, though. I find the ashes thing very weird. I know that I've been told some things that I never understood about even Maddie's family, and Maddie's mother has a sister that's something or another that should be looked at. But I would have a problem with my kid being like talked about like Steve and them talk about Maddie like she didn't have parents or something. And I continuously go back in my mind. Dan says, and they murdered an FBI agent at the office by one of the Odinist prison guards. Yeah. Yep. And don't be surprised, you guys, if we hear Bryan Kohberger got offed. The more important question at that point would be, so is Steve going to jail? Like, Steve should not be saying the things he's saying. I mean, that's criminal. It really is. But who's Jasko? You're talking about Jasko? 1972? Anyone know that name? But okay, so we'll get back to what I was saying. The satellite. You know how everyone wants it, like they thought they could have been being watched, and even Bubbly had shared a video of Maddie and Jake like being kind of funny in like a TikTok, but they were basically implying that they knew someone was like listening or watching them. I do believe that very well could have been very true. And whoever coordinated this, if this is all real, and I hate saying that, but I'm saying it because none of it makes sense. So until they can make it make sense, then I'm not going to feel bad about it. And the whole situation's weird. The friends are weird. The families are weird. I don't feel bad. But dirty money, clean hands. Whoever coordinated this, their hands are clean as well. Because whoever Darth Vader was dictating, kill now, go do this, go do that, they weren't anywhere near. And I know there's a lot of, it could be anybody. I know a lot of people might think it's Scott Green because he's a creep. But my question is, how come we can't understand, like, why we all have to come together and really, because the drug angle is fine, right? Pop's theory is fine. But it doesn't, hi Virgil Green, it does not make sense to me for everything. And when you look at everything as a whole, Kaylee, and I don't think it's because Bryan Kohberger was obsessed with Kaylee or Maddie. I don't think any of it. And by the way, I think it's absolutely rude for the G fan, the mom and dad, to continuously act like Kaylee and Maddie were the pretty ones. Like, cool. Xana was beautiful, and she also had a really beautiful personality. That's why everyone in that town loved her. That's why half the world loves her. And I think it's a little ridiculous to imply that it had to have been Kaylee or Maddie. I think it's the rudest shit in the world, honestly. And the Elantra, you're correct. It has nothing to do with the crimes. And this is what I'm getting at, you guys. It's what I'm getting at. But hi, Jeff. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. So my point is, you guys, satellite, I took the word, I ran with it, wanted to know. Turns out it's a lot about surveillance. Watching the victims every move and using signals, using people like Showalter, to inform the other people. This was not one person at all. In fact, I believe there was at least 4 people, but there's got to be, and I'm going to keep it short because I wanted to do this in a video because I wanted to be very clear about what I'm trying to say, but it's okay. When we're talking about this case, 3-story home, you have to be out of your right mind to think Bryan Kohberger did any of this by himself in the amount of time that law enforcement wants us to believe. And you all know that, except I don't know, Jeff H. You might not know that yet. Might not yet. One day you will know. And then you will owe me free guitar lessons. And this is what, and I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying frat boys did this at all, period. They did not. I'm not saying they didn't know what was going to occur. Not saying they're killers. So take whatever you want, however you want it. just don't like use me as the culprit. Use your own brain. Just use it if you have it, and don't blame me for your outcome of what you think. Okay. But there's got to be someone who plans what's occurring, right? Who knows? And this is where I think Bethany and Dylan, and I don't know why Dylan gets such a bad rap when everyone wants to pretend Bethany might not just also be like a little Satanist, wannabe vampire, blood-sucking psychopath. Just saying, all allegations, just my personal speculation. Because that's what I was about to say earlier, and then I think I read a comment instead. If I'm living in that house, I heard what happened, and I'm calling 911, number one, not letting my drunk friend take my dog out and then coming back to get brutally murdered. None of it makes sense. And anyone who wants to justify Dylan and Bethany, I think you need to go to counseling, truly. They need someone who knows the floor plans, who can map it out, who understands all the habits of everyone in and out of that house, including Ethan, because he's there all the time, right? The entry, the exit, the windows, the doors, the hiding places, okay? That's the planner. Then there's the executor, the actual person that's inside the space. But can one person do that? Not what happened here. Not at all. So, my opinion, multiple people, most of you would agree, I know that. Then there's someone tracking the movements, the analyst, which in my opinion is hoodie guy, Jack Showalter, tracking the movement of the victims leading up to the event, walking up to the grub truck, text, we're almost there. Jersey boy number 8, number 9, they act weird, they go around the grub truck, they pop back out as soon as they're right there. Then he goes and, you know, Mogen, and then he points at her and like, sleep gesture. Okay. I mean, how come we don't hear from him, Colby Pugh? How come we don't hear from him what that meant? How'd you know she was going to go to sleep for the rest of her life? Weird. I mean, that's not like, the cops didn't do their job because, well, we'll get there. Then they have to have a tech expert, right? The IT guy. And like the data custodian. Well, one could say that that could be Brian. One could also say it could be, I don't know, SG, Daddy-O. The data, though, is the person who's ensuring that there's no digital trace. That's why I said that, yeah, we can say it could be Brian, right? How come Steve and the family did not even seem to want to leave their house to go when they thought something bad occurred? Most parents would just get in the car and go. But you wait for the sheriff to arrive. I don't know, but if I was a detective on the case, I would say, what the hell? And I'm Elle. What the Elle? Okay? Why? They've talked so much, but they can't keep their story straight from the beginning to now. Too weird. Then they need the bait, the proxy that's going to be the decoy. So that would be like your guy who's gonna, make sure nobody's doing anything because something's happening up the hill at the house on King Street. And why is it King Street? Isn't it King Road? But why is it King Road? Because it's not even on King Road. So don't you find it odd that we have Banfield boys with the Ford Fusion, that then the police decide, and you guys, sorry, I'm not looking at chat right now, but I will. The police then have that car, and then they decide later how they're going to make up for it. Shady. Then you also have decoy-like situation with the sign guys. Dutch Bros yellow sweater, Christmas sweater yellow from Grub Truck and from Corner Club, whatever his name is, can't think of it right now. Creeper with the, knot on his head. But the bigger knot on the head was the guy at Banfield. What's his name? Peter Reagan, the mixed kid. So why are knots on people's heads? I mean, that kid at Banfield was like a rhinoceros thing coming out, a horn coming out of his head. Cop didn't even ask him what happened to your head. And Saeed coming, that was decoy-like to me. At before 3 a.m. And how come these parents don't ever want to just explain? Steve says he didn't have to go up the stairs. Don't make me be the alpha. Stacy says 2 a.m. is a dark hour. Well, you woke up in the morning and it was a bright new sunshining day, right, Stacy? And I don't feel bad for saying that. And then you have these parents hooking up with Othram Labs. How did Steve predict that same day he made that comment about, or those comments about don't make me be the alpha, and the boogeyman, Christy said, and he didn't have to go up the stairs? Explain yourselves. Then we won't give you any type of hate, if that's what you want to call it. We're asking questions. It's not really hate. Yeah, Hayden. Thank you. That's his name. Not as big as the boy on Banfield, though, the mixed kid. Literal rhino horn. Literally. I think, and okay, nobody pays attention to this, too. The kid that Hayden was with the kid that stole the sign with the cops when they stopped them, that kid, his last name is KL Class, like Polly Class, like the girl who was kidnapped from like Northern California many moons ago when I was young. I can't think of his name. I want to say his name is also Hunter, but I could be wrong. But the last name is Class. It might be Kevin Class. I don't know. But he's got red hair. I'm not trying to judge people, but I'm going to just say he's a little creepy, the guy who took the sign that Hayden was with. And there's just something about him that's odd. And I would like to know if Kaylee ever came across him or whatnot. But decoys, right? Trying to look like the cops are busy when who knows what other cops might have been in the know. They were, in my opinion, they knew what was going on. They had to. All my opinion, don't hate me. Hate the game that's being played. Don't hate me, the player. I'm not playing games. Moscow's playing games. Idaho's playing games. And the people in charge of this place we all live in, they're all trying to outsmart all of us in one way, shape, or form. And I think we all have to wake up because it's getting worse and worse. So my point is, this is like a sophisticated operation. This is where Pov's theory gets me sideways, because while I do believe people like Pov insinuates could do this, and I do believe they could and do, and likely, sadly, will always do that, in my opinion, this was a little too sophisticated. And if they were part of this, somebody high level, high power was the coordinator, the boss, the puppet master, and calling the shots as it occurred. So my question is, who was that? Who has such power and why? Because I do believe, yes, it could be about money. I don't think it's about drug money. I truly don't. And I will never, ever, 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 ever take anything Tamara Terry has ever said or any of those minions that lie and are all the same people. I'm not taking what they say about Maddie flushing however many hundreds of thousands of dollars down the toilet, okay, of drugs. That's not what happened. I don't think this was about Maddie at all. I don't think it was because Maddie was so pretty. I don't think it was about Maddie. I think it was about Kaylee, and I think it was about Ethan. And if people want to pretend Ethan wasn't harmed horrifically just because they tried to downplay what actually occurred to Ethan, that's fine, because they downplayed it. I'll never believe that Ethan was not brutally murdered and had what we've heard happen. I firmly believe it. I do. And how come, I'm not sure if it was all four of them, but I do know Ethan and Kaylee both seem to have wounds near their clavicle, their clavicular vein, I believe. I think that's what it's called. But why them? And why was Kaylee's face bashed in? I don't believe it was because she was so pretty and someone was so jealous or so mad that they couldn't have her. I believe that was a straight message to Steve. And I find it very weird and concerning, to say the least, that Steve comes out and says the things he says, like he's got basically a hit out on Brian Koberger. Who says that? We know Steve. We get it, right? Guess what? Don't talk about it. Be about it. If I was Kaylee, my dad would have offed all of Moscow, Idaho until someone gave him justice, gave me justice. Don't just sit there taking the money, taking in the attention and the fame, bullshitting everybody. Don't do that. You don't even, I mean, let's talk about the unwanted child, the eldest. Olivia? No. Samantha? Yes. Christy calls the shots in that family. And again, I think it's important and imperative to remember the story I told you guys, and I will repost it and put it in the description box if I remember, or ask me if you're interested. I read it, and it's from the late 1800s. They are from California. This happened in California, and it's Christy's late family member, William Lukens, who there's a story about someone being murdered, and it's always on November 13th. So I don't know, call it what you want to call it. I don't know what you call it back late 1800s, but very like Hell's Angel vibes or such, something like. So I think that the whole thing, and this is my problem, I don't like accusing people of things, but this is what happens when you aren't transparent. The law is screwing it up for everybody, including themselves, because now half the world the people with brains don't trust Moscow PD, trust police in general a little less, and believe that Idaho's corrupt as could be. And it's scary because at the end of the day, it's all could be true. Whether it's true or not, there is corruption. There's so much injustice in this country. It's pathetic. People confess to crimes they did not commit, 100%, and people take plea deals to save their lives and to do whatever they have to do. So for people who think that Brian's guilty because he said he was, I mean, just please go. I mean, I don't know what to, there's no help for people at this point. He's not guilty because he said he was guilty. I could tell you guys one thing right now, and just because I say it doesn't mean it's true. So why does that change when someone's in a court of law under oath? How many officers lie under oath, as we can see from just the Idaho case itself? And whatever is the deal with Cyree, I'm hopeful that he's not what it looks like. But was he going to then get up on the stand if he was called to, if there's a trial, to testify as to why he lied about his report? I mean, that's serious crap. But cops lie all the time and they harm people. And I'm not trying to hate on cops. There are good cops. There are bad cops. There's good of every color person in this world. So that's why I don't understand racism either, but we'll stick to not that topic right now. If Murphy was, I'm glad you brought up Virgil. I'm glad you brought up Murphy though. You know why? Because I watched Christy. Never mind. It's on Facebook and I'm not putting my information out there. Nope, because I got too many people trying to know everything about me, as though I don't tell y'all enough. Christy posted this morning as though she has a camera crew waiting for her to emerge from her bedroom. Comes out at first thing in the morning, and she's like, if you didn't know me, I love dogs. I didn't even have to see the video to think, what the hell? You love dogs, but you didn't take Murphy. Murphy doesn't live with Jack. Murphy's with Jack's aunt. Kaylee loved Murphy. You loved Kaylee so much, I would toss and turn, and if I was cremated, I would pop up out of my ashes if my mom did not keep my dog. She loves dogs. She walks out of her bedroom, says good morning, and she has 4 little dogs following her. It's a cute video. I'll give her that much. But you didn't want Murphy. Neither did Jack. Jack said it himself. He did not want the dog. Yet, Murphy, you love dogs. Murphy doesn't live with you. That's how I view people. That speaks volumes to me as to how much she loves dogs. Literally. I would like to know that too. What kind of vehicle did they drive? Thank you for that, because I also, that first picture, I can't find it, but if anyone has it, or I know you guys will know from the beginning, the picture, which to me looks like they're in like a man and woman almost hand in hand with a wad of cash. Woman has long nails, looks just like Christy's nails. Way too long. No judgment, no judgment. Never mind, I'm not going to say it. No judgment. They look like Christy's nails. As of her being at CrimeCon and me seeing her hands as of recent. So don't know what her nails look like way back when. But man and woman, looks to me like they're in like a Mercedes G-Wagon SUV. Don't know. But I would like to know what kind of car they drove. I would like to know a lot about their whereabouts that night, and it just doesn't add up to me. And I would like to know why we see the one video of Maddie talking to, I think it's Bridget, in the doorway with, they're wearing white, like a white party, with the black guy going in and the like 45, 50-year-old Italian looking like Guido man coming out. And I think that's the dad of, God, who is it? I think it's Claire's dad, but I cannot be sure. He's a dad though, and it's not like Dad's Weekend that I'm aware of, but I don't know what it is, so don't quote me on any of this. It's just, what are they doing hanging out with like dads like that? And I'm really bothered by how I've seen some things, and I was going to post this. I just don't have time. I hate doing videos. And so I have a couple, one's about the sororities and calling 911 that I have like ready. I just haven't posted it. But another one about the potential of the sugar baby issue. And there's quite a few women that these girls were following on their Instagram or whatever it is. I can't tell you, don't quote me, but on their social medias. And like they're women, and it says sugar mama this, sugar mama that like they're following. And I'm not hating on victims, okay? I don't care what they were doing. If they're really truthfully gone, nothing they did could have ever created what happened to them. Like, that's psychotic and it's wrong. I'm just trying to understand how we got to here and why their families aren't trying to find that out either. They're just okay with killers on the loose, which is why I have a hard time believing that this could be real. How is it real? You know, you're not worried about reality. Oh no, you send Kaylee's other sister off to go to Texas, just like Kaylee was supposed to. And I get it. You have to live your life. But the way they've all responded to this, send your 2 twins back to Sigma Chi. No big deal. Kid dresses like Koberger for Halloween, the first Halloween. Your son's murderer from that same fraternity, and that's supposed to be funny. Not funny. Hold on. I'll call you back in a little bit. Okay, I'm live. All right, sorry guys. I just find this all very weird. I find it weird that the president of the university parties with the kids. I find that very weird. I find it weird that I don't believe half of these kids are as old as they are supposed to be. Like Kaylee's friend, Kayla, the Asian girl, I swear to God, she was like, she's my age probably. Hunter Johnson, he's his one of his good friends is Brady Gooch. I'm just telling you guys, if it's real, I'm gonna just stick with what I'm saying. I do believe the drug angle is involved. I do believe bad people are involved. But I also believe people are not willing to accept the fact that people that have money, like a lot of these families that believe in keeping the bloodline going, and they're really Epstein-like people, they don't live the same lives that we normal people live. They don't, and they groom their children in very sick ways. And hence my opinion is that this was coordinated. This was what I was told it was by 1122 King Road Clue. This was a very coordinated effort. And what's happened now with Brian and this plea is basically almost exactly what I was told was going to occur. I think it was supposed to happen a lot quicker. But I don't know how anyone can think that these parents are, we should feel so bad for them. And I do feel bad. I feel bad for Kara. I feel bad for Ben. I feel bad for Maddie and Xana's families. I think that like the world media press tour should have been over a long time ago for Steve and Christy. And I find it just a slap in the face to anyone who donates money to them that they are doing things with DNA and IgG and trying to find criminals, yet they could give a care less to find who killed their daughter. Because at best, it wasn't just Brian Koberger. At best. That makes no sense to me. And yeah, Murphy was rehomed really early on to Jack's aunt. And I follow Murphy's page, and I literally cry almost every time I see, maybe not now because I don't really see it, but when I first would see Murphy, I would cry because I just felt like how horrible. Who knows what the dog saw, if the dog saw anything. And either way, its mommy is gone. And it just grosses me out that Kaylee's family gets a new puppy but didn't take the dog of their daughters. It's kind of weird. And it's very strange that they come off as very, oh, we're such great, wonderful people, but you have nothing to do with Steve's first daughter. All because Christy said so. And being on this world press tour to, promote Murder Has a Name, and I was going to share something about that, but I'll do it next time. Murder does have a name. Don't you want the real name? Kaylee has a name. It's not the Idaho4. Yes, it's Kaylee. It's Ethan. It's Xana. It's Maddie. But the murderer of their child or murderers, they have names. They don't seem to want to know them. Why? They pretend to read the documents. Nobody reading documents. None of these mainstream people, no one that has done these interviews has read anything. Because if they had, they would call people out on their shit. Except, I guess, they're paid to lie. So regardless. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, you guys, please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. I'm just really tired of this family, and I'm tired of being in this moment where I feel like we all feel like we're being played in some way, shape, or form, and it's just gross. if they really care about their daughter, this is all the real deal. Like, stop playing games. Now I sound like Steve. Just stop playing games, man. And I mean, Steve has it out for everybody. And I don't know if he's the one threatening Jules, like I said, but it's a bit disgusting, to say the very least. And if it's not, and if he has people like doing the dirty work for him, it's gross. It's gross. And at the end of the day, Brian Kohberger did not do this himself. It was not his vehicle. And I would like to know why the police, like, I did FOIA requests, I've said this before, for Maddie's boyfriend, Jake. Because to me, if your girlfriend is doing OnlyFans, you should be interviewed, interrogated. But only the FBI has that. So who deciphered who the FBI was going to handle only? And they won't give any of the family interviews, like, probably because they didn't do any of it like a real law enforcement agency would. But we have problems. If we can't see what happened and how they came to Brian Kohberger, that's a problem. It's okay, littles. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't get how, no matter what you think, God, I got hairs everywhere. No matter what you think about Kohberger, or if he's guilty or innocent, you have to admit that this case was handled improperly. And it's made a lot of people crazy, to say the least. It's okay, littles. It's okay. Come here. It's okay. Brooke says, I was shocked when I learned what happened. Yeah, with Jules. To threaten her babies. Yeah. It's absolutely gross. Whoever it is. And people threatening creators needs to stop, really. It'll always happen because there's always going to be someone out there that has some grandiose opinion of people and their beliefs, and I don't get it, but that's like a mental issue type deal. And it's sad. It's sad that people can't voice their opinions and not be attacked. And I hope that whoever did it is found out. That's what I hope. Because once that happens, and hopefully it's handled, that'll be able to set an example for anyone who thinks it's okay to threaten people. Because it's happened to many, and at the same time, nothing's happened. And if it's Steve, then that's just really sick. And then that should be, I don't know, biggest red flag in the world to look into why he would do that. But he's not. He's comfortable making threats to Kohberger, and, I mean, what, is he going to have his brother handle Kohberger? I mean, I don't find it funny when you have a prisoner brother in prison for murder, and you're literally acting like you're some saint with a saint family. No. How come we can't understand, like, apples don't fall far from the same tree. Just saying. What's it say? You more like dogs. Oh, you mean I like dogs more than children? You more like dogs than child. Sick. The Idaho4, the fixation, no body, crime, pictures, new laws, AI, and Jules and Steve, not Steve, is Lana. Who's a fucking witch? Okay, why are we bringing this to my channel? I don't need Lana called a witch. I don't need to be told I like dogs more than children. Guess what, bitch? I can't have kids, okay? I love them, though. Okay? I also advocate for prisoners, even the ones who say they committed a crime. Imagine that. Imagine. Okay? And I'm done with you people and your little shitty charades. We all know. We all know. Get over all of us. Move on. Follow a different case. This doesn't even fucking make sense. Make it make sense, Belgrader. Please. As if I don't know who you are. Nobody's afraid of Lana. And if you keep talking about Lana, I'm going to absolutely assume who you are. I'm not obsessed with Lana. I'm not afraid of Lana. I don't care. What you people need to get over, you haters need to get the hell over everybody you don't like. If you don't like them, get out of here. If you don't like me, get out of here. Nobody asked you to be here. My dog is my kid, though, by the way, and I treat my dog better than half of the Americans that don't want their children that they do have, FYI. Hey, AR. Hi. Good to see you. We're at comedy hour right now because people just love to hate, and I really am not bothered, by the way. So, whatever the hell your name was. Who's voting? I'm voting. Vote for me. I'll be at the White House before the year's over. Me and Littles, we will be. We're taking over and we're making it people over politics all day, every day. And, you know, it's a lot of work to do, but we're going to get there. Hi, Blue Haze. You too. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I just love it. I'm glad I got through most of what I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. Brooke. Okay. Check out. Yes. Yeah. I saw this name, Brooke. Let them bully. I'm not going to go cry about it like they want. I'm not. I'm going to laugh because it's pathetic. And you have to be really like a sad person to just do this all day, every day. And again, I will call out the truth that translucent, open mind perspectives, Casa Miriam, the one calling me the N-word every other second when they could, psychopathically then pretending to love me, all one person, okay? Watch Heather's video about it. If you don't know, now you know. And I'm just saying, look out for yourselves because people want to become friends here, and not all of them are friendly. Not all of them have good intentions. Some of them just want your information and your address or, you know, any way to get a dig at you. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it at all. And I've been bullied enough here. I will laugh. I'll laugh. But if I see it happen to somebody else, I'm not laughing. I'm defending them. See something, say something. I'm over it. I'm absolutely over it. Nobody knows my story. People want to say, I play the dead dad card. I play the race card. I play the victim card. No one fully knows my story. So don't tell me what I do. I'm guaranteeing in my real life, because I do have a real life outside of this imaginary world that some trolls live in constantly, I do good things for people. I advocate for people. I do a hell of a lot for people. And I'm not begging for credit for it. I do it because I care about people. So when people want to come up in my chat and bring dumb shit up that doesn't even make sense, you can't even spell, is that like a ploy? Or do you really, are you that stupid? That's the question. And I'm so sorry I brought up Jules getting threatened. So, again, people don't have to watch people. You like them? Watch them. Hit the thumbs up. You don't like them? I don't know. Do what I do. Don't fucking watch them. Pardon me, but I'm so over it. And trust me, you guys, I'm not bothered. I'm more bothered at the fact that this won't stop and it affects new people who want to share their voice when they come to this true crime community. True crime, it's almost a crime to be part of. And it's almost embarrassing because of the way some people make it. So I love every single person that shows up here that I watch. We all support, for the most part, one another. We don't have to agree at all. But I support people because I can tell that they come from a good place. Their heart is in the right place. A lot of us have different struggles. We're humans, right? I see AR in here. That's great. I love that someone else, another creator, pops in. I love anyone who's here that's kind, because that gives me support, and I keep showing up because other people show up. But what the ridiculous part is, I could be a bigger channel if people like that didn't screw with my entirety of almost 2 years of being here. And I don't want to see it happen to other people. So I don't know, go somewhere else, go back to kindergarten, start over, and play nice at the playground, or I don't know, sit in timeout. I'm not the place for it though, because I will argue all day, every day with anybody. I'm sure Thomas can attest to that. I will argue and I will defend other people. So, you want to argue? Show your face. Someone wants to argue, come up on my panel and show your face. Argue with me. People love drama, right? Show your face, or don't be a coward talking shit behind a screen, because we all can see who you are, a very small, tiny person. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much, Thomas. Cheers to everybody who got a membership. Even if you're a hater, we love you. God loves you. Go get right. Get out of here. Skedaddle. And AR, it's so nice to see you. I think of you because I don't really watch a lot of this because of the drama lately, but it's not even pertaining to me lately, but I support you as well. And I hope that you are doing well with your health. And I love your doggies. Also, I'm glad to see that they're doing good. And I hope your wife is doing good as well. It's always good to see you. This is what we do. It's not hard to be kind and support one another. And I tell you, it's just been a wild ride. But you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Really, I do. And I've been really trying to get back into going live. So I appreciate you guys being here. And, you know, I try and not get thrown off, ADHD brain. But I will stand up for people that get bullied. And I just had to make it clear, very crystal clear, that people are not going to come up in here and bully me. I was all, oh, you don't have to be nervous to talk in the chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate all people's views, perspectives. You don't have to agree with me here at all. I like to know, I like to learn. If people have different opinions, I'd like to know why. And I do my best. When I talk about the families, I'm not a victim shamer, blamer. This case is very different, in my opinion, than any other case. And this is the first case I've ever covered being a YouTuber. I've always watched true crime, but something is wrong with this case. I advocate for the wrongfully incarcerated. And I do know that even prisoners who have murdered people, they have rights. And for Steve to be such a hypocrite when he has a brother in prison for the same, convicted of the same crime, to talk the way he does and to put threats out there, that's not okay. And when you know Bryan Kohberger's family, even if he did this, just him, his family didn't do it. So why is it fair for the Kohbergers to have to watch threats be made to their child? Because it's still his mother's child. Just like Steve's brother is still his brother. So I wish they just knew how bad it makes them look. And I don't know how people continue to have pity, because I will also say, I was going to say this earlier. When I watched them do the interview on, I think it was Sean Hannity, that was the first time I ever heard them even mention God. Any of them. Well, except Kara. I've talked to Kara myself. She's mentioned God plenty, but it was the first time I ever heard anyone talk about God out of the two main families is who I'm referring to. And it was in a weird way when Christy mentioned it. And I'm not a hater. I don't want to hate on people. But at some point, we all have a right to say what we see, and they are choosing to put themselves in front of cameras. So they don't get to complain about all the money, all the things, and I'm not saying they're paid for interviews, but they have gotten money. We all know this. They put themselves in front of a camera. They're asking for criticism, judgment. Even me, I've had to learn to accept people are going to hate me, even if there's absolutely no reason to hate me. So what? Let it be. But they take it to another level, and that's not my fault. That's not y'all's fault. It's learning to be careful what you say if you want to platform yourselves everywhere. For what goal? Yet again, here we go on this merry-go-round until a trial that, in my opinion, never will happen. Is what are we doing, Steve? And them in their death row shirts. Grow up. Like, if your child got murdered, maybe figure out and do what you can do with your foundation and all the money you're about to get for that, and find the killers. Because it wasn't just Kaylee who died. It was Ethan, Xana, and Maddie too. And I'd love to know why that family didn't show up and why they never showed up. Why were they Christy said, I've never even been to that house. Okay, that's a little weird. I get it, maybe not for Parents Weekend, but I think they're lying about how close Kaylee was with them at the time of her death. And I could be wrong on the opposite side of that. I also have a feeling that Kaylee and her dad might have somehow managed to get into things like crypto or something that could have tied her into trouble that Steve got in with crypto. And I don't think I finished my sentence earlier, and I'm going to look into it. But I do believe when they were tearing that house down, I was like, what's in the house that mattered so much? And when I looked up Hex, the black Hex diamond, Hex crypto, was missing, and it was very, very valuable. I don't know what Steve does, but I think he does a lot of shady business, and I'm allowed to say that. It's my right to say it. And I'm also a journalist, so I have extra protection for speaking on what I research and what I find. And if Steve wants to prove me wrong, he can. But I think that Steve comes out with these big boy britches on, talking shit about everybody with nothing to back it up. Just saying. And they're also tied to Paramount Pictures. Olivia married into that Paramount Pictures business. Okay. Who owns the media companies? Who owns all of these big broadcasting companies? I'm not saying the name, look it up, but who's also getting tied in with the people who run this place we all live in? So, just saying, just my opinion. What do I know? But I'm kind of just, it's draining. I'm over it. Hi, Noelle. Good to see you. I emailed you. I don't know if you emailed me back. It's been like a couple days. I've been really bad, but I've been sick too. And I get to the point where I watch, you guys, I've been watching people and I've like changed my mind about going live. And then I've had this construction going on and I watch people and I'm just like, I don't go in the chat hardly. I just watch and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, if we can't all just get along, why are we doing this? I mean, people don't have to agree, but I don't know. I don't get it. I watch people I like to watch until it's like the drama gets too much and it's not their fault. It's the psychos that watch and have to partake in bullshittery. But I know we're living in high school forever. My grandma, who's 94 and a half, she lives at this place. She's not even needing assisted living. She's just in a place since my grandpa passed, and it's fancy, but they watch out for her. She talks about, and she's a busy little lady. She plays games, card games every night. She goes, does stuff, same stuff as younger people. But she talks about some of the drama and the theatrics that goes on at this place. And I literally said, oh my God, it never stops. High school never stops with some people, even the most elderly of people. And the people that are the classiest of people. My grandma does not partake, by the way. She's the classiest of people. But no, you guys, I don't know. That whoever the hell that was sidetracked me quite a bit. But you guys get the drift. I'm telling you, this was a coordinated operation in my mind. The cops are we're never gonna know the truth. So part of me questions, what are we doing? And it's hard because it's like an addiction, which is why I say we've all been BK ultra'd. Because seriously, we all want the truth. We're still going to hunt and search for it. But what if the truth never comes? Because we all might be gone off this world, and then all of a sudden, decades from now, it'll be in like the CIA papers that, you know, they did such and such to the people of this country with this case. Messed with our minds, and it was all a dream, like Dylan said. Who knows? I didn't know. I was drugged. I was drunk. I wasn't awake. I don't even know if it's real. I don't know if it's real either, really, Dylan. Why doesn't Dylan tell us? Why doesn't Bethany tell us? How come not one friend of these people have come out and said anything of importance? Oh no, but they sit down with certain news stations, and Hunter and Emily and the 4 frat boys, to include the one that dressed up like the killer with ABC. How does that make sense? Like, I would go to that school and beat the shit out of a kid that dressed like my kid's killer at the fraternity, or I would tell my kid, Hunter Chapin, to beat the shit out of him, literally, because you don't do that. And if Hunter thinks it's funny too, doesn't that make anyone question what's wrong with these people? You dress like my brother, my triplet brother, like his killer. But that's okay. And again, I want to also say again, for anyone who didn't hear it, I find it very rude that the G family seemingly acts like Xana was not a beautiful girl outwardly as she was inside, because it's always, oh, he had to been after Maddie or Kaylee. Said who? Not every guy in America is obsessed with blondes, okay? Xana was beautiful, and we hear it in every interview that anyone's ever spoken a word about Xana. Everybody loved Xana. Seemed like all the guys sure loved her too. That's not her fault. She was cool. She was a guy's girl. She liked to hang out with the dudes. She had a great personality. She also wasn't bad on the eyes. She was beautiful. So to make it that they were so beautiful, okay, that's weird, and it's rude. And I won't believe anything out of them or the Chapins until all 4 families sit down together, which will never happen. So what do you think about that? I think I'm off my soapbox for this moment, but let me see if I missed anything. If you guys are just chatting, wow, you guys are good. Everyone's talking to everybody. Let me see. Why the hell is everyone telling the same story, highlighting the same? Exactly, because they're paid to lie. And I wish people would wake up. I literally have told every single person I know, and I wish I could tell my grandma, but I can't. She's well set in her ways. She loves Donald Trump. She watches Fox News only. I got to let that one go. But everybody else needs to realize we're being lied to. And all these people sleep so comfortably at night lying to people, not telling the truth, because they get paid to, and they get paid the big bucks. Good luck when life's over, buddies, because that's wrong. It's not right. And yeah, I can't even imagine what Xana was going through. And And I firmly believe, again, I said this earlier at the beginning, that Ethan, his wounds, I don't even think that we know the half of his wounds. And I just find it very sick. And I find it's very sick. It's okay, littles. We have to not forget that people in power, people that run our communities, our states, our country, even like I've been watching the Nolan Wells case heavily. You got the judge, you got the governor, you got the DA. No foul play. If nothing's wrong, why is everything such a secret? That's the number one question anyone should ask when something happens that's horrific. There's nothing that should be hidden. The truth should always prevail, because that's how you get convictions. That's how you get true justice. And that's not what we're seeing. And now it's happening more and more every single day. How is that okay? I mean, I don't know if any of you have even seen this little guy dressed up in they called it a Chucky costume. He didn't look like Chucky to me. He looked like a demon, but not Chucky, running around scaring people in Philadelphia. And it's like the cops hold a press conference, but it's like they know he's probably on his way to California. But it's like, if you know that, how are you not telling us, like, you're going to intercept this dude before he gets to my state? Creepy. But that's just the basics of it. You know things, but you're not doing them. Me being a survivor of a violent crime, police did nothing at all. That's a problem. And we can't pretend that they're all saints when prosecutors, police, even defense attorneys, and I'm not trying to say Ann Taylor's good or bad. I don't know what she is. But they all work hand in hand together. And when you have one bad apple training other people, they most likely become bad apples too. And like I said, Bryan Kohberger, I do not believe, however, people need to understand, the paperwork he fills out, just like the plea deal he took, has to be what it has to be. People don't seem to understand how the law works. So, I don't know how many prisoners file post-conviction relief for many of them, almost all of them, within the first year, if not ASAP, the day they're convicted. Even if they're guilty, they file and they say they've had ineffective assistance of counsel. Yes, most of them get denied. Bryan Kohberger, I said earlier, we watched him with the officer, the woman officer. He asks questions. I will never believe Bryan Kohberger knew nothing about his own case. You don't think he asked questions. You don't think he knew everything. And I really do hope Ann Taylor, I hope it is true, that she still goes and visits him. Do you know how important it is for people to have like a human connection? And I can't wait. Well, and I pray that it happens soon. Why are we supposed to be okay with corruption, lies, a fall guy in prison, and we're all just supposed to be okay that there's killers out there on the loose? It doesn't make sense to me. We're not stupid, and I think that whatever's going on is, I do believe, much deeper than any of us could have ever fathomed. It probably does tie into high-level situations. I can't say how or why, unless it is tied to big dollar situations. But I guess I'll leave you guys with this, because I'm going to feed my dog. I'm going to leave you with this. And my hope is this. And if I've been wrong about Steve, I will happily apologize. But I thought it a long time ago. And at first I loved Steve for being what I thought was like best dad, gonna fight for his child. Don't make me be the alpha dad, right? And then he got weird. My hope is that if there is some grander plan, that Steve is part of that plan, and that this is all for show, because it has to be. That's my hope. I don't know. I truly hope that could be. But if he is as shady as he's portrayed himself, he did it himself. If that's the case, and if he's involved, then I hope we see him take Brian's place. Whoever has to be in prison for what occurred needs to be in prison today. Emma Bailey, Demetrius, whoever. I mean, why are they free? They gave drugs to somebody who's dead. But what's weirder is none of these parents with dead children are talking. That's weird to me. None of that makes sense. It's not just because I talk a lot that I want to expect people to be talking. It's not something you stay silent on. Yeah, you're right. He did. He wrote the dissertation. Yeah. And because of that, he was planning it. I mean, do people understand what you have to do to get a doctoral degree? I wonder what every other criminologist getting their doctorate had to write about. Probably, going to the fucking zoo or the circus or, like, what do they expect him to write about? It's the career he chose. People just want to make something out of nothing. And his family, I truly feel for his family. I wish they would get their own spokesperson to come out kind of fighting. But they've been strong, and I hope that they have their own plan, and I just trust that they do. But I feel like they deserve to be able to fight back a little bit for their own behalf. Again, if he did even do this, which I don't believe, they didn't do it. And the way they raided that home, they couldn't just interview the kid in Pullman, though. Why? And when it comes to the DNA, they only had his DNA once they arrested him. They cannot lie about that. And I'm over it because I'm almost over the whole case. I care about it, but people need to calm down with the crazy shit with other people, because it makes me just cringe. And I want to do my research. I want to do what I want to do, which was the family trees. But when I sit down late at night, I don't have it in me anymore because of the BS that's gone on around this case. I'm still telling you guys, I firmly believe Brian has a great potential to be someone's cousin, if not multiple people's cousin, that were in the area that could have done what they did. Hence, the IGG would not point to Brian. It would point to many family members. 4 brothers who had children who could be Brian's cousin. Hi, Donna. Good to see you too. Thanks for being here. Thank you all for being here. But yeah, you guys, it gets more and more shocking, the things that Steve and the family say. And I'm not the person who wants to hate on people ever. The exception to the rule is when these people come out, they put themselves in the spotlight, they say very strange things. It's weird. And when I've learned a lot about people and families, and these families in particular, the last 4 almost years of this case, it makes one beg to question what's really going on. So I hope to be live much more this week. I said it last week, but I got sick. I appreciate you guys. Littles is getting antsy. You hungry? I really appreciate you guys. And I have a couple shorts I'm going to put out, like I said, that I'm almost done with. I just hope that we all, don't give up the good fight. Don't be bullied, and don't allow bullying. And we can all continue on forward progress, and the hate's got to stop. So people hate me, but I don't get it. And I think that we all struggle. We all have our lives. we all are not perfect. We're just people. And I truly, truly believe there's a much bigger story out there tied to this case, whatever it may be. And I do hope, based on what Brian, like this says, Brian told his professor, he wanted to get inmate stories and thought the best research would be to be inside or something like that. I believe it. And I do hope that Brian is less scared maybe, and that, you know, how they say, you know, they're sending messages and talking through the toilets. I hope Brian's got a friend to talk to through the toilet. Maybe ask some questions, and, you know, I hope that Steve understands that it's not going to be a good look if anything happens to Brian. Thank you. You two have a great, great, great evening, Blue Haze. I hope that Steve knows it's not a good look. If something happens to Brian, who are we all going to look at? Is that something to be proud of? My dad didn't know what happened to me when I was attacked because my dad would have been in prison if he did. Because if you're going to do something like that, you're going to get in trouble. Steve can still get in trouble because he said it multiple times on public airways, public podcasts, public whatevers. Someone should shut him up. Yes, Virgil, he has the internet and he has a tablet. You can go to the Idaho Department of Corrections and search Brian Koberger. And he can choose if he wants to respond, or you can send him mail also. I'm just saying I have not done either. I intend to, though, because I'm a writer and I feel for him, and maybe one day I will write something about this case. And so I just haven't yet. I've also thought of reaching out to his family, but I haven't. I'm a journalist with experience, but sometimes I feel like I'm a little too close to this case, and it kind of changes my perspective. And so it's a little bit of a weird place to be. But yeah, he does have the internet, and he, from what I would assume, he's working on his case day and night, you know. They all have it, but they have to have the funds for it. Like, he has to have funds. Like, if you message him, he has to have money on the books to be able to respond or to send messages or to use the phone, which his mother has been putting money on the books. He does not have $40,000 like all these liars have been saying. But he does have some money, and he also has to pay for his commissary and anything that he wants to eat, use, toiletries, everything. Like, it's not an easy life in prison. So just because Steve says, oh, he can do whatever in prison, no, he can't. Not really. And he's very isolated, obviously, because he's in a cell alone. He's there 23 hours of the day. And I doubt they'd put him in whatever they call it with a bunch of other people, because general population, because he's Brian Koberger. So it's a lonely life for him. But yeah. So I don't know, you guys. But again, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go feed my little monster. And we will see you guys soon. I will post those videos hopefully by the end of the night. One's about the sorority and calling 911. Kind of just something that made me roll my eyes the other day. And then whatever else I said that I was going to post, I forget, but I'll go back and look. And I just appreciate you guys. Who's Snow? Oh, no, Elle, if you're still here. Yeah, but then I haven't also. I reached out twice. Well, we talked, and then I reached out again. Haven't heard back. So I don't know. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. Yeah, let's answer this question. I don't know currently, Thomas, if it's, 10,000, but that was confusing, but No. Yes and no. But AR also is saying, yes, you cannot get normal internet. I should have explained this better. You can get email and communicate through the supervised account by the prison. So they have their own little like messaging email system, and they have like a system where you can do, most prisons anyways, where you can do like FaceTime, but has to be set up, has to be they're approved everything. He can't just like, you know, watch the porn that they said he's watching that is so psychotic that they said that Brian's obsessed. I mean, he can't do anything. He can't watch YouTube. He can't see what we're saying, but his parents can, and they're victims in this too. So that's why I try to be kind, but sometimes when I see things like the G family and what I've been seeing lately, I'm going to talk about it. But thank you, AR, for clarifying that. Yeah, they can get reading materials also on their tablets. Most have tablets, not everybody, but they can also get certain TV shows and movies. And yeah, they can't just search for whatever they want. Not in prison. But you guys, and thank you again, AR, for being here. And whatever Brian's balance is, he's still got to pay whatever he agreed to pay by the month, I believe, to the families for restitution. And the money he has, it goes quick. Like I said, all the things, they cost money. And, you know, we know Brian's kind of like very much a OCD person when it comes to cleanliness and his washing of the hands. And I just because someone's a little bit weird, a little bit different, it doesn't make them a killer. And the biggest point, you guys, is that if someone's walking free, many of them possibly, and they know what happened, I would hope it's only a matter of time before they get caught. But that's the reason I keep talking about this case, is because if we all gave up and none of us are putting pressure on getting the truth would never come. So that's why I'm still here. I might complain about it sometimes, but at the end of the day, I pray that if I was ever in the shoes of someone who didn't belong in prison, other people that, you know, like we're all doing, they'd fight too for justice and the truth to come out. And again, I will say, every prisoner, no matter what they've done, they are human and they have rights. And it's important that we recognize that, because when people are innocent and they get put in prison, if they're in a prison with prisoners who have zero rights, well, guess what? When you step foot in prison, you're a prisoner, whether you're innocent or guilty. The COs don't care. Their job is to treat you like a prisoner. So that's why it's important that we respect that prisoners are humans and they have rights, even the worst, okay? They're in hell, basically. We have to recognize that. So don't listen to Steve G and think it's some fancy hotel vacation, because it's not. I get it, and I would be very angry if I was someone who lost someone to murder. However, I would not be saying the things he said, and I would be seeking any way to find peace within my family and myself. And peace is not the internet, not hating people and not putting hits out on someone who might not have even done it. But I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys so much for being here. Me and Littles, we will be back soon. But for now, we're going to go figure out what is for dinner. She knows what's for dinner, because she gets the best of the best. But I love you guys. Please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you, Thomas, for modding. Thanks, Brooke. I think I made you a mod. But thank you all for being here. We appreciate you guys very, very much, okay? Talk soon. Very tired. It is Ellie. It's Ellie.